And I'm Toby.
And today we're going to talk about post-show struggles.
The hardest part of prep. So first off, we're going to talk about identity crisis, which is one that is, that isn't talked about much. Like, say after your show, where when you finish your show, you have no goal left. What are you going to do now? Like, obviously you've done your prep, and now there's no plan of action going forward. And because you were the person in prep, you were the person on prep, and everyone knew you as the guy who was, getting lean for a show. After the show is over, what is there to do? Did you get that happened to you, didn't it?
Like, I think that's why it's so important to set a goal in place, so that doesn't happen. It still will for a couple of weeks because
it does.
You've been, you're so lean and you've spent so much time, effort, energy, money for this one day that afterwards it's like...
It's over now.
Like, it's been such a high, and then it's like...
A slowly, gradually low.
Yeah, so I think it's just important to set a goal in place of, look, maybe I want to step on stage again next year. I need to get bigger. Like, your growing season is so important. Maybe you don't want to step out on stage again. Maybe you want to pick up a new sport. Get back to yourself the way you were before prep, because I feel like a lot of people's personalities change on prep.
Yeah.
For the better in a way. Like, I've changed, but I think for the better in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do in that scenario would be, like, obviously you know the show is going to come to an end eventually, but the best thing you should do so you don't go through that crisis is have something in place that you're going to work towards straight after the show is over. Because if you don't, then you might just fall back into the trap of thinking, okay, the show is over, now I can do whatever I want. But that's a trap, because if you do whatever you want, then you've lost the hardest battle of the whole prep in itself. So have a goal in mind. Like for me, all I wanted to do was, I think we talked about I was going to join High Rocks, but that was just me going through that crisis. I was never going to do High Rocks. So what I'm doing now is just training fucking hard, but I'm going for heavy powerlifting is what I'm trying to do. So increase my strength. That's something I'm looking forward to, as I'm obviously going in the bulk. So for me, that's my plan of action. What's yours?
Mine's just build as much muscle as I possibly can in the next couple of months. And like, obviously my goal is to compete again next year. But if I'm not ready by next year, I won't compete.
Yeah.
So like, a lot of people are eager to compete again. Like, I want to build
that
a
was
physique.
Me though.
I want to build a pro physique, a physique that I'm really happy with before I step out on stage again. And like, if that's, hopefully it's gonna happen. If it's not, then obviously I'm not gonna step out on stage because I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And it's a long process of building muscle. I think a lot of people don't understand this.
It's a long time.
Like,
some people think it's like, I can get there instantly. But you can't. Like, building muscle is a lot harder than losing fat, especially when you need to put on the size and the mass to hop on stage. It takes a lot of time. So in that sense, you obviously have to understand that, it might take months or even a year or two. And that's why you need to have a goal in place. Because if you don't, then you're wasting all the time you have left. Simple as.
So yeah, just set a goal in place for you of, like, an off season is really important as well. So just focus on getting better, getting stronger, getting your health back in check.
Yeah.
Because you're a bit loopy still for a couple of weeks after a show. So
that's one.
Becoming a better version of you.
Yeah, of what you were. So that's what you should focus on so you don't have an identity crisis. Mental crash after the high.
Yeah, like, a lot of people will just, like, obviously you're on such a high, and then after, when you go on a low, like, you lose track, so you start, like, eating way too much, or like, a lot of people go out drinking way too much and just losing the track of them. And then the next thing you know is they're after putting on so much body fat, they're looking at themselves in the mirror, you're unrecognizable. That's what kind of happened to me.
She's talking to the first person.
But like, that's what happened to me, because I think after the 16 weeks of prep, like, you're not in prep anymore. So after that, you're looking to either get stronger, get your health back in check, get your mind back in check as well.
Yeah, it's the mental part, because after, like, say you're after prepping for a while, like, you built a lot of discipline, a lot of structure, and then it's come to an end. All that is going to take a hit. It's going to take a hit because now it's over. You don't need to be as disciplined as you were. You don't need to be as structured as you were.
See, and I lost my mind, and like, I went completely off track, and like for 3 weeks straight, like my hunger went so bad I couldn't stop eating. So it's just to get out of that slowly, and after prep is done, you're looking to get better, get stronger, get back to yourself, and not be a psychopath. But like everything happened to be precise. Like Toby was saying, he used to eat from like the same bowl, same fork, same spoon, and I was like that too. But I think everyone in bodybuilding is, because everything has to be
it has to be so precise.
And everything does, so like, we weigh out all our food by the gram, but like everything had to be perfect. Like the way I dressed, the timing of my food, the time I went to sleep, the time I got my steps done, like looking at my watch, have I done 10,000? Perfect. I have 2 more thousand to go. And then like it's just like we time everything to perfection. It's a bit psychotic really, but I like it.
It's good. But yeah, just make sure you have some kind of discipline so you don't get that mental crash after obviously you've reached your goal. Just so you can stay mentally sane. But that's about it for point 2. Point 3 is, obviously having a direction.
Direction of where you're going forward, of maybe you want to spend more time with your family, because bodybuilding takes, like you need to sacrifice a lot of things. Of
a lot of people
you're spending a lot of time in the gym, you're spending a lot of time doing cardio, your steps, your meal prep. So maybe like from that time that you've obviously taken yourself away from your family, just
that's another thing. Especially
it's only
when
fair to give it back to them, of allowing yourself to have that meal, to go spend time with them, and just kind of get back to a normal routine, because bodybuilding isn't you. Like a lot of people, just that's their whole personality. But which is good to be like really obsessive with something, because that's how you get good at things. That's how me and you done well. Like,
that's the only way. If you're half-arsed in it, then you get nowhere.
But like, I think we got to a stage where like literally, if any normal person came and talked to us, I had no interest.
No interest.
If you don't do bodybuilding,
if you're not talking about what I'm currently doing,
we don't care.
I don't want to hear about it. But
and I literally got so agitated and angry when, like, because you're obviously low on food and everything irritates you. It's like they're just trying to be nice and ask you questions about bodybuilding, but like
you're
only
mood,
talking
you're
to
low on food.
Yeah, but you're like talking to a wall, because they don't understand it anyway, and they'll just say nod and say but like, people were only trying to be nice and like ask questions about it, but like you just got really fairly moody and agitated.
I think the another thing is, especially with people who who have families and they're into bodybuilding, like it's going to take a toll on the people around them, especially when you have to give time to, let's say, your wife or kids. It's going to be a bit selfish, because obviously for you to be great at something, you need to put a lot of time into it, and that's time that isn't going to the people around you. So just keep those kind of things in mind. It is a bit selfish, it is a bit isolated, but in the long run it is going to be very worth it for yourself and character development. But just have that in mind and have a goal, and obviously spend time with your family or whoever it is that you didn't pay attention to during prep, and you should be fine. It's just having stages, and knowing what to do in those stages. But
well, like, I just want to talk about this as well, like, for like especially a lot of girls, a lot of their families won't be so supportive of them doing bodybuilding. There comes another thing, like, if they weren't supportive of you, and it's really hard, it takes a hard hit on you, especially when you're a girl, when like been told like, oh, why are you doing this, and it's stupid, and you're too skinny, you're too lean. Like, I got told all these things by like a load of people, but like, it's like, you're doing this for you. So I know it's sometimes hard to like that your family's saying, like, you shouldn't be doing it.
And it's really hard to explain to those kind of people, because
or they're like, have that bite of this pizza, it's only a bite.
It's really hard to explain, because if you want something like so bad, nothing else matters, and it's very hard to explain that to someone who isn't in that same process. That's why you'd never really explain anything. You won't explain science to someone who is doing business. Like, you get me? So unless they're in the process, it's going to be really hard to be around them, because if you're around them and they're doing things they usually do and doesn't correlate with what you want to do, it's going to.
I think it's being forgiven to them people as well that are kind of against it or don't understand it, because they just don't understand it, because like you said, they're not in it. So I think it's just to
you have to experience it. Be
forgiven. Like, afterwards, you might like hold this resentment against them that they weren't that supportive, or they were saying this to eat
that's
this,
a good
or like
point.
It's stupid. So I think it's just nice to be. It's good to be forgiven. It's like because if like you're holding that hatred inside you, that's only gonna hurt you. Like,
Yeah.
It's not gonna
It's
affect
just,
them in
yeah.
any shape or form. So I think that's a thing as well. Just to forgive, because they're not in it. They don't understand it. I don't think I would have understood all this if I didn't.
If you didn't do it, yeah, you have to experience it, and once you experience it, then you kind of have an idea of what everyone else is feeling, and their thoughts towards obviously what you're trying to do. But yeah, forgiving is a good thing, because obviously when you're in prep and everything's pissing you off, you kind of, it stays in the back of your mind to some extent, that you kind of have to be like, okay, maybe I was a bit too much there, and they were just normal. They were just being themselves. But I was in a deep end of prep. So, yeah, forgiving is a good thing.
So that's why I think maybe sometimes our families might start hating us, because we are more agitated, or we are moody.
Moody,
and like everything has to be perfect and like
so precise.
like,
The precision on
now
prep
that we're
is
not
crazy.
on prep, like I'm just
chilling.
Yeah,
Just
like
chilling.
you don't have to like. I've still picked up like a lot of traits from prep.
Good
of
habits.
Being,
Good
of
habits.
being
Yeah.
like precise with things, but not everything has to be perfect.
No. Yeah. But it's kind of, it gives you that bit of discipline.
Like now, if my rice went over 5 grams, I'm like, it's okay.
It's alright.
only 5
There's
grams.
no, you're not hopping the
I
stage
won't
or
be
anything.
like picking out grades of rice.
1 grain, 2 grain.
I used to do that.
Yeah. So since we're on the topic, let's move on to relationship with food, post prep.
I think this is the most important one. Like a lot of people after a show, like they just have this uncontrollable hunger, but because you've been so restricted from food, especially carbs, the second you have carbs in the system, they're like cocaine. Like you cannot stop eating carbs, and like a lot of people will put on weight so quickly that they look in the mirror and they're like, what just happened? But it's just obviously looking at your reverse, not being in a robotic state of still eating everything precisely. You obviously still, you're looking to increase your calories gradually, but like introducing back the foods that you liked before as well, but not taking the piss now and just eating everything and all around you, but like the happy medium of 90% of the time I'm eating my meals, I'm tracking my macros, but do have that meal where you're not tracking anything, because you do go insane from tracking absolutely everything.
So
and that's just a recipe for disaster for you constantly, because I know a lot of girls go from restricting themselves so bad to binging for weeks straight.
Yeah.
Restricting themselves so bad, binging again. So it's just finding that happy medium of tracking your food but allowing yourself to include the foods that you like.
Yeah, you kind of have to relearn
have that
everything.
meal that you're not gonna track, just so you're not going mad, because like remember yourself before you started prep, you probably never tracked anything, so just kind of finding that happy
it's just
medium.
going from over restricted to not really restricted, and you kind of have to find a balanced ground, because it is going to be fairly hard, especially when you've been in prep for a long time. So you kind of have to, like, it's a battle as well, especially when you're trying to go back to what you were. Well, not what you were, but just not being as restrictive, because some people will feel guilty after being restrictive, and then they're not. Like, it's going to be a mental battle. They're going to be like, oh, I shouldn't have done this, which shouldn't be the case. It's just because they were in prep and have that mindset. But once you just gradually ease out of that restriction and be more
it's very very hard at the start for everyone.
It is.
Like, it was really hard for me well, like what I done after my shows, I still restricted myself and I had no off meal plans. I just kept eating the same thing, just a little bit more of it. And like my hunger caught up with me, and like I just went that crazy for 3 weeks. I couldn't stop eating. But I'm kind of glad that it happened to me, because I'm able to like share this experience with you, and like a lot of girls have texted me the same thing has happened to them, of where like you cannot stop eating, and then you're like hiding away from the world, and like a lot of girls will just start wearing like baggy clothes, but then after that they'll stop going to the gym. Like, it's just like, it's not that they fell in love with out of the gym, it's just that they're too embarrassed to
too guilty
to go.
Feel like
it maybe
they're
doesn't
not
happen
what they
as
used
much
to be.
with like lads, but like, because lads are grand with putting on a bit of chub. I'm actually
depends on the person, depends on the lad, because
like,
most lads do suffer with that kind of thing as well, because it's body dysmorphia, which I think occurs in most lads.
Yeah, next topic. Everyone that does bodybuilding or is into fitness or the gym.
And the best thing about, well, I won't say the best thing, but the worst thing about body dysmorphia is you don't have body dysmorphia until you get into the best shape of your life.
You posted a post on Instagram and I really liked it. I didn't really realise that up until you posted that. It's so true.
It's
like before when I was doing just jits, I was grand. I'm like, yeah, I'm just a normal girl. Like, but now I'm like, and I just look like a normal person now. But like look in the mirror, I'm like, I'm fat, and like most people like be dreaming to like look like me.
Yeah,
girls be texting
your
me like,
physique
I
could
want
be
to look.
someone else's dream physique.
Yeah, and it's great. And in my head, I'm like, I'm disgusting.
Yeah, it's so if you are doing body, not even doesn't have to be bodybuilding, but if you happen to get in the best shape of your life, a lot of people experience body dysmorphia. I did. I felt like shit. I didn't feel like, looking back at my pictures now, I looked fucking spectacular. But back when I was actually there, I didn't think I looked that good. I was like, I'm not ready to hop on stage. You know, I'm going to get whooped on stage. I could get a lot leaner. I could do this. I could do that. But I didn't take into the fact
that it's important to have your coach, because they can have you're not thinking straight. Like I was the same, and I was looking back. Like I'd have to send in my check, and I'm like, awful. Like there's no.
Yeah, you always need constant reassurance as well.
I still need to pull off a bit of fat. And like looking back on them pictures, I'm like,
there was no fat to lose.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So it's most people, it's in your head. Now, I'm not saying take body dysmorphia if you're not in the best shape of your life. So it could happen to anybody. But
it's gonna. I don't know one person that does bodybuilding and doesn't have body dysmorphia.
When I put that post up, a lot of people were able to relate to that. I got a lot of texts saying, "Oh my God, I'm in prep right now. I feel the same." And a lot of people that were in prep but not anymore, they were like, "Oh, I actually feel this way looking back at my picture." So just keep that in mind. But it's not, if you have body dysmorphia, I guess it's kind of a good thing because you're in the best shape of your life. So maybe take a pinch of salt with that.
Because like now that like I'm after putting on 15 kilograms, it's not a good thing either what I've done. It's not. I'm gonna suffer now in the next. Well, I'm just grand now, so now I'm focusing on just building muscle.
Mass, yeah.
But like, I don't be looking at myself all the time. Like I got so obsessed constantly. Every mirror I'd look at myself. Pictures constantly. Like when I was doing my check-in photos, 50 check-in photos just to make sure it's perfect. Now I'm just like, I'm normal. Like,
yeah, it's just, yeah.
Oh, and it's so nice having body fat on your body. Like even like sitting down now and like you're lively and like everything's just lush. I like it.
Yeah.
I can sleep as well. Like everything's nice, and I think post show like it's also important to get your health back in check. So, like with that, you're gonna have to start introducing more food into the system, especially when you're a girl. Like most girls lose their periods, so you're looking to get your period back, and with that, you're gonna have to put on a little bit of body fat, and you just have to kind of drill that into your head that like. I think like if you're doing this gradually, you will notice that you're obviously putting on fat mass, but with that you're going to be putting on obviously muscle mass as well. You're going to get your health back in check. You're going to be doing your personal bests in the gym.
Just before we move past that,
and you'll be able to sleep.
If you are putting on obviously body fat, just make sure some healthy fats, because obviously you don't want to put on a stupid amount of bad fat where you have to strip off from bad food. So if you are getting you want to get back to a better healthy fat stage, eggs, mince, peanut butter, healthy fat sources, just so it's not
dark chocolates, egg yolks, avocados,
fish,
olives,
all that stuff.
Anyway, like if you're gradually like introducing foods back into the system, and when you're like feeling, I think this is important to like for us to post and talk about it, because a lot of people that we know are competing now.
Yeah.
So you're gonna feel like it's the end of the world at the very start when you're putting on like a bit of body fat, but I promise you,
feels like your progress is fading, but isn't.
Oh, you lose your shit. But like after that, I promise you, you're fine. Like I'm
good.
Fine now. Are you fine now?
I'm good.
Okay, some days it does get to you, but like not really. You just
but only when you look back on what you used to look like.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that, but it's good to have that, just so you know what physique you're looking to be better than. I phrase that weirdly. What physique you want to top. So it's good to have that on your phone, just to look back and make sure, okay, you've done this before. Can you do better? So it's a bit of a challenge for you, and the character self-development
like
for you as well. So
talking about as well, like during prep, like most people have insomnia. I had really bad insomnia.
Yeah, sleep takes a big hit.
I didn't
Sleep
sleep
takes a big hit.
for like, I only slept for 3 hours every single night, and I'm not lying to you, like I was hallucinating every single day. I was seeing like, no,
Who's that? Who's
it
that?
started freaking me out. I was starting like seeing shadow people. I thought people were talking to me when they weren't. Like I was like, it was like I was out of it. Like I was just like a robot, and like I was like that for ages. So like I completely lost my mind. Like I was crazy, but with the lack of sleep, then I was like emotional and everything would get.
Not
to
that'll
me.
happen to everyone, but like when you're really
agitated.
low on body fat, that could happen to you.
If you go for too long with that little body fat,
if you're below like 5%,
there's a happy medium of being stage lean the whole time, and that what I done, and just being lean. So there is a difference there of being stage lean and just being lean. Don't do what I did. After the 16 weeks, you're out of there. You're looking to improve yourself, because
you don't need to be lean all year round. It's
you don't want to put on 15 kilograms within a month.
No, you don't want to do that, but that's going to... it'll come off. Most of it will come off soon. Most of it will come off. But, social life. So, so technically what happens with your social life, obviously during prep you're saying no to everything that isn't on your plan. You're saying no to, going out, because that's just temptation. And especially when you really want something, saying no is going to be really easier.
Well, it was easy for me to say no to
yes.
everything. People just stopped inviting me to things because they knew I'm gonna say no. I was just like left in my, because I'm like, no, I need to be left by myself.
And that's the thing.
And I need to go to the gym. Like,
when you say no, a lot of times, and even when prep is over, people will still be like, they won't feel pushed to even ask you to do anything.
Yeah, good. I don't want.
But like some people
still ask me. It's so annoying.
Some people.
I'm like, no, I don't want to go to this event because I need to go to the gym that day.
Yeah.
And that's my time to go to the gym, and I'm not changing that. It's I'm a bit autistic. Like I have to go to the gym in the morning times.
Yeah, it could take a mental toll on some people, though, feeling like they're being neglected. But obviously for you, you know exactly what you want. But for other people who are doing bodybuilding just one time or just for the experience, and they have to say no to everything just to go, they're planning on going back to their normal life after. But
I think only people feel neglected when they don't talk about it. So like after a bodybuilding show, like all these things that we're after talking about, of like, you're after eating too much, and then you don't want to go to the gym, and then you're losing your shit, then you're like, oh my god, I don't like, what's the point in anything, and you just don't care anymore because you don't have like the next goal set in place, and you isolate yourself. It's not that you're like being neglected, it's like you isolate yourself, but like you don't really realize that because like, you don't have the want to do anything, you're really lost. So I just think it's really important to talk about how you're feeling as well with either your friends or other people that do bodybuilding. Like with girls, it's really, I think with girls it's easier than lads, because like we're all so like, even
girls
though the
talk
girls
to each
that
other,
I've never spoke to before, like we'd be really close and we're constantly talking to each other and checking up on each other like from time to time. But like I don't feel like lads do that. Now when I talk to the lads, they would be open to me, but I feel like lads to lads, you're kind of like,
no, it's,
well bro,
it's
you're
the
right.
it's the perception of
it.
being a fella. You don't really, like, if I was to say to another lad here, some people could take it, some people can be really supportive, but majority of the people out there, the men, won't, like, they couldn't give a shit. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone has problems, but when it comes to talking about mental stuff, most lads won't do that. And that's the main thing about bodybuilding, because it takes a mental toll on yourself, and when you don't talk about it, it just digs more into your head. And
the second you talk about it, the problem isn't even that bad as you made it out to be.
A problem shared is what's the phrase again?
Problem shared is a problem halved.
Half solved, half solved is some shit like that, but but
I think it's important to talk about things and just kind of setting a goal in place for you, just so you don't go crazy. And lads, talk to each other.
Talk to me. Text me.
Yeah.
If you're after doing a bodybuilding show, it doesn't have to be bodybuilding. If you're just feeling isolated, you feel like you went too hard into something and you're not really in the right headspace, you feel lost, talking is always going to be a better option than, making assumptions in your head and just having the roller coasters going over and over, repeating the same negative things in your head. It's never going to be any good. So talk to people, talk to your friends, text me.
Toby, you're a true G.
You might not even know me, you know.
Do, because I don't feel like I have to say it to anyone, because a lot of people do reach out to me every single day saying I've started bodybuilding because of you, and it's just a really
That's
nice
a good feeling.
So no, if you ever want to talk about anything, text me. But most people do. So
yeah.
See, I'm just a nice person. I think because I'm really honest, and like I'll just say it like straight out.
Straightforward. Honesty is always it's a good trait.
But you know what, like the friends that you have, and that if they're not honest with you, that's not a true friend.
Leave them go.
A true friend, even if like I know that like something will hurt them, but like they need to hear the truth, I'll tell you.
It's like bodybuilding and your coach. If you have a lot, like, for example, there are a few coaches there who are afraid to tell your clients that this needs to happen, just because they're just people pleasing. So it's like a friend. If a friend is lying to you just for the sake of, you know, not making you feel bad, that's not a friend, because later down the line it is going to take a big toll on you, because you were taken down the wrong direction. So if you have a coach who's telling you, okay, this is good, especially when realistically you have to lose another 3 to 4 kilos to hop on stage, that's not a good coach. So you need someone who's, you know, putting you down the right path, regardless if it's going to hurt your feelings. We're all, you know, grown adults, and you obviously need to do what's right. So if you're not doing what's right, if you're not doing what needs to be done, but doing what you think is right just because someone lied to you, you're going down the wrong road.
But I think sometimes it's a little bit nice, just like after a show, just to step away from a coach as well.
It is. I always do that. It helps me mentally, and it just takes away the burden of feeling like I'm on prep again, and that gives me
I should have done it a bit sooner as well. But I think you need that break of like.
You do, absolutely.
Especially like obviously like after a show, you are gonna be putting on body fat, and like constantly, like especially for girls, constantly weighing yourself and taking pictures of yourself, like that really starts playing on your mind. So sometimes a little break is nice. Like if you just said to your coach, look, I just need a little break for a while, they'll understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I do that after every prep, because when I say prep is over, I don't need a coach unless I'm going back into prep. So I don't want to feel like I'm in prep all year round, because when I actually have to start prepping for stepping on stage, it's going to feel like I've been doing it for the past year. So when you want to lock in, you lock in hard. When you don't, you know, you take things gradually, enjoy life a little, and then you know when it's time to go again, you're ready to go.
Yeah, that's the thing, post-show, like, you know, for your prep, like, you've been so locked in. But after the 16 weeks or 5 months or half a year, whatever, for how long you were doing prep, like, yeah, take it easy. Start doing things that, like,
enjoy a little.
Maybe pick up a new hobby.
Play guitar.
Yeah, I like
piano.
playing guitar. I didn't play my guitar for months. I actually only picked it back up there a couple of weeks ago after prep. Go out somewhere nice with your friends. Try archery. We tried archery. We went zip lining.
That was actually good. You know what I mean?
Go travelling. Go try out a cool new gym, because I know, like, when you're so routined into prep, you just want to go to your gym.
Yeah, your gym, because it's so, like, you want to be precise with everything. You don't want to.
Because, like, I'd freak out, like, if I went to another gym, I'm like, no, they won't have that machine.
Yeah, and you like the way the gym.
I'll be like, that's it, I'm losing.
You know the feeling of, like, say we go to the same gym, like, if we were to do a chest press over here, we already know what that's going to feel like before you actually go in. But going
you
to
know
another
where exactly
gym,
it is as well. Do you know when you go to a new gym and, like, you don't know where the machinery is? Like,
it's just so stressful as well, especially when you're in prep. Like, sometimes even the weights could be different just because of the way the machine moves. You know, it could be a double cable machine or a single cable machine, and now you have to worry about. Yeah, you have to worry about. Is this the same weight?
Because the same way I'd be doing an hour gym and another gym, I'm like, this
feels
feel
like,
right.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, just be conscious of that. But yeah, what's next? Isolation and lack of support. Last one. Isolation. Well, it kind of leans into the social life, but like isolation after.
I think if you're open and talk like the points that we like mentioned previously, you won't feel isolated. Like the bodybuilding community is so nice, so lovely. I don't think I've ever met a dickhead doing this. Like every girl, every lad that I've ever met, so sound.
Yeah. You just have the odd people who are like, oh, he's on steroids, oh, she's on steroids. But like those are the people
But
who say
people
that
that
have
are
never.
on PEDs, they still have to put in the same amount of work that everyone else. It's not like you're taking a magical pill potion and you're jacked. It doesn't work like that.
No. You
Like
still
me
have
and
to
Toby
do
are
shit, like-
naturals, but like I've nothing against people that do PEDs. It's a big part of the sport.
It is.
It's just like me speaking from people that are on them. There's more, especially with girls, there's more negatives than positives. So
Yeah.
I just
And you never
don't
know
think
what could
I'd-
happen if you were to take something. I would rather.
I've heard
you
a
know,
load of horror stories. So
Yeah.
I won't. But like, do you know when like a lot of people always ask me? Do they always ask you? But a lot of
For
people
what?
think
For
you're on
steroids?
juice. Yeah. 'Cause they'd
every
come up to
time
me-
I walk past someone, you just no offense. Are you on steroids? That's okay. I'm not on steroids, but hey, I take that as a compliment. I take that as a compliment, really, because
But it was crazy
It's
when I
good.
was really lean. The amount of people that thought I'm on steroids. I'm
everyone,
like,
the second you get lean is crazy. They just think you've been juicing for the last 5 years.
I'm like, dude, I just really.
No, just locked in,
skinny.
like, you know?
Yeah.
It's just locked in. But yeah,
Skinny and muscly.
just
No
keep
body
people
fat.
around you anyway, so you don't feel isolated and you don't feel like
Just
you
talk.
have no support.
Like, talk to people that are doing bodybuilding too. Like,
Yeah.
they're the ones that are gonna understand
Talk to someone who
you.
can relate to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they've gone through the same thing, so yeah, talk to them. With your family, like I said, a lot of the time they won't understand it because they don't know what you're after going through. Like
Yeah.
if I didn't do this, I wouldn't understand it as well. Just
It's a lot harder
to be forgiving and like go back to like the normal activities that you might have done with them, of like having that Sunday dinner with them and actually sit down with them.
Yeah.
Or like if you done a thing of like maybe going on that holiday that you wanted to go, and like just not taking the piss. Like when you are on the holiday, just you're still picking the smart choices of food. If there's anytime I go on holiday, I still go to the gym. I think a lot of people always give an excuse of I'm going on holidays.
Yeah, you can't.
Anytime I've gone to the amount of gyms, every single hotel will have a gym. Like even when I done jiu-jitsu, anytime I went on a holiday, I found a jiu-jitsu club. Like the last time I went to Lanzarote, not one person there spoke English. I still went in and I had the best. And they were like, somehow we understood each other. They were like, are you here tomorrow? Come back tomorrow. And I was like, yeah. And like I learned so much. So that's just an excuse. If I'm on a holiday, there's no gym, or I'm on a holiday, there's no healthy food. Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
So like the habits that you picked up from bodybuilding, still keep them off, and you are like.
They are good habits. Give you a bit of structure, but just coming back to the isolation, lack of support. It's if you have the same people hyping you up every time when you're in prep and you're out of prep, most people will leave you, right? Not obviously they're not going to leave you, but the hype won't be the same when the show is over. So you're kind of alone to process the transition. So if you just get ready for that and just know like, okay, there isn't going to be many people, doing, go on. After the show is over, it's going to be a lot easier to obviously transition to normal life and the show is over. So talk and get ready.
That actually
For the
reminds
post.
me of like I seen a reel. It was like people will always cheer like at the start of the race and at the end of the race.
Yeah.
No one will ever cheer at the middle of the race.
Yeah,
It's
done.
kind of the same thing with bodybuilding. Yeah, people will cheer when you're in prep and when you're done, but no one will cheer when you're in your
After
off season.
it's done.
But this is where it's most important, and you're looking to get as jacked as you possibly can
Yeah.
with, being consistent, going to the gym, with your food, not missing your like a lot of people will like just not do their steps or any cardio at
Yeah.
all. So don't do that. Just if you don't want to do cardio, do your steps, or just at least include it once or twice a week.
A week, yeah. Just stay active. Don't disrupt the routine that got you there, or
Yeah.
no one will ever praise you again because you just done it for clout, right? So
And
unless
if you're doing it for yourself, you obviously still want to be fit and healthy and.
So stay fit and healthy, because if
But
you
like
don't,
even like with steps, like I don't think I'll ever. I used to think like walking is a load of shite until I started bodybuilding, right? I don't think I'll ever stop walking. Like it's so like not even look at like obviously the physical side of things, but like it's just so good for your head. Like that's like a lot of people would think I'm crazy for like leaving my steps like at night time before I go to sleep. But like
I think you're crazy for doing that though.
I need that.
That's so much. I
'cause I
usually
usually
split
work-
them in blocks.
I usually like work during the day, so like today.
Like
I
you nailed
could've-
about 12,000 in one go, like.
Yeah.
Oh man, fuck that.
Like, how many have I done today?
I nailed 10k at one go
I've
like 2 weeks
3k
ago.
done, so I usually do 15, so I have 12 more to do.
I'm on 8. I only 6 more to do.
I usually do 15.
Fuck.
Right, like, we're off topic
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Well, that was all about post show.
I'm trying to think
and what
now,
you can
are we
expect.
missing anything else?
Don't think so.
I think we kind of talked about everything.
Yeah, we did, yeah. We gave him a lot of, information about what to expect, especially for the people who are hopping on stage for the first time next weekend or this weekend,
And at the end of September.
and at the end of September.
And the
So,
start of there's actually a lot of shows coming.
Yeah, at the end of the year there's a lot of shows. So this is for those people, and obviously anyone else who is willing or hoping to step on stage next year. Just keep all these points in mind and get ready, because obviously we're here to educate you as much as we can, because we only started bodybuilding 2-3 years ago. So
I only started
we've been
this
training
year.
I've been training
I
for the
only
last
started
decade.
prep in February.
Oh yeah, shit. She's been
I'm
okay.
only
So this is raw knowledge, raw first experience from Samantha.
I'm only in this a couple of months since I only started prep at the start of February, and I done my first show at the end of April.
5 shows in one go is crazy though.
And yeah, I have 4 gold medals. So if you ever want to do anything in life, go and do it.
And do it
Because
hard.
look, I started this and it worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah, that's good. Well done.
The golden girl now.
Well done, Samantha.
Jeez, your hands are freezing.
I'm cold.
I think let's wrap this up, and that's a bit of info on post show, because no one talks about it, and I think it's nice that we have.
Yeah. So good luck everyone competing. Good luck, Keaton. Good luck.
Good luck to everyone out there, every single person.
Good luck everyone.
Practice your posing.
The hardest part.
Yeah, because you're after building this amazing physique, and if you can't showcase it, it's not good. So practice your posing. I think that's one thing I didn't really do as much of. And then after my 5 shows, I was looking to compete again, and my posing is sick now. So maybe until I step out on stage next time, I'll be a proper performer, and I'll showcase my physique to the best of my ability. So practice. Right, we'll call this a wrap.
Thank you for watching Sam and Toby's vlog.
Bye.
See you again. So if I say identity crisis, it has to be solely about identity crisis, because you covered mostly about 3 topics there.
Yeah, but that's
Right,
the way I
you covered no direction. You covered kind of body dysmorphia, and you covered social life. Right.
So I covered 3 in the 1.
Yeah.
But like when you're talking about it, they're all a part of it.
Yeah, but you can talk about them in topics. So identity crisis would mostly be like, what are you going to do after? Like, where's your sense of purpose? Like, who even are you after
like
prep is over?
School here.